Following the Prince of Peace in an unpeaceful age. My name is David Woodall with the Emsdale Pastoral Charge, the United Church of Canada. If God is with us in this age, then this is a good age in which to live. If God is not with us in this age, then be very afraid. This true story from a few years ago remains frighteningly real still today. It's a few weeks before one of the endless military deployments that accompanied the ground wars during the late 20th and early 21st centuries. At home, while other children are watching cartoons and playing in backyard sandboxes, a boy named Scotty is drilling his toy soldiers and watching the news. He'll do nothing else. He keeps the television tuned to the news all day and all night. His grandparents plead with him to go outside and play with the other children. You need fresh air and sunshine, they tell him. But he refuses to go. I have to be ready, he says. Day after day, he drills and watches. Then one day, he sees them, his mom and dad, dressed in uniforms, looking out at him from the television screen. We have a son at home, they tell the reporter. Hi, Scotty, they call out over the airwaves. We love you, we'll be home soon. Scotty waves at them and they wave back. His mother throws a kiss and his dad salutes. And then the picture fades and Scotty goes outside to play. 5 months later, the war is over. There is a parade. Scotty, his grandparents, and his dad are seated in a reviewing stand next to the mayor at a victory parade in honor of his mom, who was killed in the war. A Boy Scout troop marches by carrying a large photograph of his mom standing next to her helicopter. She looks young and pretty in her dress uniform. A band follows playing the national anthem. Then comes the leaders and victorious generals. The crowd waves tiny flags and cheers on their country. But Scotty doesn't wave his flag, and he doesn't join in the cheering. Scotty holds on tightly to his dad's hand and wishes only that his mom would come home. Far away in a bomb-damaged apartment building, a small orphan named Abdul, or Anna, or Selassie, Middle East, Ukraine, Ethiopia. A small orphan is dying for lack of clean water and medicine. Held tightly in their hands is a color photograph of mom and dad who were among the terrible casualties of this war. A few days from now, Abdul or Anna or Selassie will be one of the hundreds of thousands of children who are dying today of war-related causes. Abdul, Anna, Selassie are dying or they're dead. Scotty is now a few years older. The power of those images is not lost on us. If God is with us in this age, then this is a good age in which to live. If God is not with us in this age, then be very afraid. Moses, on their endless journey through the desert as they left the land of Egypt, once said to God, if you don't go with us, then don't make us leave this place. It's not easy following the Prince of Peace in an unpeaceful age. Sometimes we'd like to abandon the journey, to succumb to the tempting prospect of lashing out in anger. That's not a good choice to make. It doesn't matter if it's in your family relationships and relationships in the schoolyard or at work. Lashing out in anger does not work, in spite of what Hollywood or Call of Duty game systems would suggest. Now, sometimes we'd like to abandon the journey, to succumb to the temptation again to lash out in anger. Sometimes we'd just like to hide ourselves away from the horrible things that are going on out there. Only like the haunting idea of snipers. Do you remember the crowd in Las Vegas being shot at a number of years back? Or the dreadful reality of war in Yemen, Ukraine, South Sudan, Ethiopia, or the mind-numbing surveillance of people's lives and the suppression of free speech in so many countries today, even creeping into our own. There is no place to hide from this. Until all the world is safe, there is no refuge of safety in what really has become a global village. When we follow the Prince of Peace, make no mistake, there is a lot at stake. It's about the health of your soul. It's about the health of our communities. It's about the health of our world. It's about the future of our world. There's an awful lot of emptiness and meaningless if God does not journey with us. But if God does go with us, then the journey, whatever journey it is worth taking. As Christians, we're part of the great spiritual movement across all peoples and all religions. We're part of the winningest cause in human civilization. Now, from time to time, we might look like we're on the ropes, set to take our last breaths. But in the end, God never loses. We never lose. Not all the forces of evil or even death itself could keep Christ in that tomb. We are the children of the empty tomb. We are the children of Christmas. We are the children of God. We are the children of peace. Somewhere along the line, each one of us in each of our lives are faced with a very basic question. If I rely on God, will God truly guide me? Or is this some kind of religious nonsense, like so much other religious nonsense that's messed this world up? The future of the world hangs on your decision. You get to make it, no pressure. There is no sense in having faith if you're not going to use it. Sometimes following the Prince of Peace in an unpeaceful age is a real statement of courage and faith. We don't always know where God is leading. We are often confused about how life is unfolding. Now, my family tells me I'm often confused most of the time. I do my best and it turns out to have completely the opposite effect. My relationships with other people aren't always what I want them to be, even in my own family. I don't always understand the direction of things that are happening in the church. What's happening in our world is often confusing and terrifying. At times, life looks like a muddle. Sometimes I think that if this is God's plan and I was a teacher marking it, God wouldn't pass. But what I have discovered is that regardless of appearances, God is in control. We follow the Prince of Peace in an unpeaceful age precisely because peace rings loudest in the spiritual followers of the Creator of all life. If God was not with us, I would be more than confused about the state of the world, about the state of life. I would be terrified. But because God does go with us from this place, then we can walk with confidence into whatever might lie ahead. The Message Bible records Paul's wisdom for us in this day and age in this way. He said, if you've gotten anything at all out of following Christ, if His love has made any difference in your life, if being in a community of the Spirit means anything to you, if you have a heart, if you care, then do me a favor, agree with each other, love each other, be deep-spirited friends. Don't push your way to the front. Don't sweet-talk your way to the top. Put yourself aside and help others get ahead. Don't be obsessed with getting your own advantage. Forget yourself long enough to lend a helping hand. What I'm getting at, friends, is that you should simply keep on doing what you've done from the beginning. Be energetic in your life of salvation, reverent and sensitive before God. That energy is God's energy, an energy deep within you. Go out into the world uncorrupted, a breath of fresh air. Provide people with a glimpse of good living and of the living God. Carry the light-giving message into the light. This is a good age in which to live. We are the children of the empty tomb. We are the children of Christmas. We are the children of peace. God is with us in this age. We're the children of God. and God goes with us. We're not afraid. Amen.